6311 North Road, or 6311 North Road on the motor vehicle accident.
I think that it's the basic problem that every human being faces, and everybody that wants to go into business or everybody that has to sell themselves every day in some way, shape, or form has the same debate. You know, and there are a lot of people in this world who have to get up every day and do things they do not want to do.
Do they do?
Well, there are people with families, for one thing.
Why do they have kids? They can't afford it. They have to go do something they hate every single day. They shouldn't have had the kid. Because that's teaching the kid the wrong.
It's not always a choice.
If you get a hold of 1134, you should be in that area.
Listen to the old man.
1134?
And the only doctor is a Catholic who does not believe in birth control. You end up with lots of kids.
I'm not saying.
I can tell you 4 of them. By name.
You know, and I can tell you something else about having kids too.
With the building.
It's unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of truth. A lot of kids are born out of boredom. And you know, it's a biological fact of life. People have kids, and it's not.
We don't always do the logical thing.
We don't always do the logical thing, and we don't always choose what we do. You know, it's sometimes it's a matter of
sign on my wall at home. That's a neighbor of mine. Him and I start combining. I went down to help him combine one time. We started down the field together. It was he cut it with a swather. So he started down one swath, I took the next one. And we come down to a slough down there. He went one direction, I went the other. And I never seen him all day. And we got in to eat that night, about 10:30, 11 o'clock. I said, wait, were you drunk when you cut that field or what? And he said, you know, it seemed perfectly logical at the time. And that explains most of the dumb mistakes you ever made. It seemed perfectly logical at the time.
I know.
I don't know if I would consider kids to be a dumb mistake. I mean, there are a lot of people who love kids and work hard for kids, and they don't mind going to a job that they hate every day if it's for their kids. I mean, that's a majority of people I meet who have kids.
I think it's
it becomes their world.
to have kids when your schools are not unless you're homeschooling or you're showing them classes.
Well, unfortunately, that's why a lot of people who can afford it move out to places where the schools are accredited.
And we need to make abortions totally free. Free abortions. Everyone. Everywhere possible.
Crucify her.
Clinics.
That's heresy.
Them all over the city. Make them
I don't
free.
believe in abortions. I promise I will never have one. And I don't care if you do or not.
Free abortions for everyone.
Yeah, right.
Amen for sure.
And
I don't want to pay for
you're not doing something you hate your whole life for a kid you didn't even want. Problem solved.
Well, I think that a lot of people actually want the kids, and they would rather have the crappy job.
And then, too, how many people think, well, I got this job and it's going to turn into something.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
You're working along and all of a sudden the job turns into crap, and
well,
you already got 3 kids, you can't leave.
That's the other thing too. A lot of people they work hard their lives because of the other factors other than kids. They may hate their position now, but they really like what it'll turn into someday. You know, and there's a lot of people who really work hard. I mean, for instance, a lot of people like working in medicine, and you know, you may start out
to making $30,000 a year.
well, like for instance, a doctor. Let's go right to the top. The doctors, actually hospital administrators would be the top. Doctors, if you've ever seen how hard they have to work, and especially interning is rough.
Do you think it's more difficult to wake up and go to a job every day than to have no money most of the time because you don't follow the path of just going to work? Because generally people think it's more difficult to work every day. I would make the argument the other way.
the very first chapter of the book, it says, money is not most people's main motivating factor. Most people want to do a good job. They want to feel like they belong. They want to be satisfied. Look at a lot of people who retire and then decide they want to go work at McDonald's or something. They don't need the money.
It's routine.
No, it's not the routine. It's the feeling of being needed, the feeling of being wanted, the feeling of accomplishment.
It's a feeling you can't stand your own company at home, so you really do anything and get sit at home, look at the wall.
Letting someone else decide what their accomplishment is going to be instead of saying, okay, I have this full day.
Not always.
A lot of people are social beings.
Yeah, they need to be around.
Need to be out and around.
And the other thing too is not everybody has the artistic sensibilities or sensitivities.
But how are they going to ever acquire them if they just their whole goal is to wake up and go to work every day?
It's not for most people, it's not about money. There's very few people that are motivated purely by money.
It's a thing of, hey, I got to pay the rent, I got to buy food.
Well, of course, and the artists.
And so you have to do something that brings in some money. And most artists, when they're starting out, don't make any money whatsoever.
And unfortunately, I've seen among artists, names will be withheld to protect the guilty. I've seen among artists the people who can afford to have that attitude, that I don't need to work, I can just be an artist, are trust fund kids, college students, or their parents are paying for everything.
That's not what I'm talking about. I don't need to work, I can just be an artist. I'm talking about deciding you want to do something that takes a lot of training and practice and diligence that you're not going to get paid for a long time.
And I've known people that did something.
I'm not saying I don't want to work. I am work. First of all, it's more work than most people can do. They don't exactly, maybe that's what you're saying. They don't have a skill set.
Yeah.
They're never going to acquire a skill set. They don't actually.
Well, I
have people too that get into the field. This is what I want to do. They work. And then technology says, oh, that field just disappeared, fella.
Well,
back to McDonald's.
With Jessica, I do totally agree with you, and it is a very hard path to go if you're just going to. It's just like any small business, you know. If you're going to be in that business, if that is your business, if that is the way you choose to live, and somehow you have to support yourself. You know, that's an unfortunate reality of life.
Right, so do you support yourself with a job that's so demanding that you get paid for it and you have a income, or do you support yourself by the job that is maybe pays less but a lot more time you have to devote to?
I think a lot of people actually do choose that when they can. Every person I've ever seen that wasn't totally about making money. I mean, you know, there are some people whose art in life is about making money, you know. But I've met a lot of people who are like, if I could just work a minimal job doing nothing, where I could just spend all my time thinking about and doing something, you know. And like Ken has a perfect job for that. Security guard. You don't think about much of anything during the whole thing.
You said you'd let me sit down?
Yeah, that's not the ultimate goal, but you have to have, you only have so much energy as a person.
Yeah, I've met a lot of people who take a job that's very minimal, that pays for what they need, and they keep, you know, like you and Jeff too, they try and keep their overhead as low as possible.
Yeah, I was going to say that lifestyle has a lot to do with it, you know.
Yeah.
If, like for me, hey, I can do without television, so that saves me a few bucks. I can do without a lot of crud that other people think are necessities.
Yeah. But a lot of people can't, you know, they're just so hooked on TV, having that stereo, having the computer, you know. So their overhead is high. They get themselves into debt. It's not just children, it's
That's
debt.
an American thing, though.
Yeah.
That's where it's like the majority of people like that. I would rather not even live
get so much tied up in maintaining the lifestyle that it puts stress on the whole family relationship and everything else.
Wow, we've got so many people writing to us that we're ignoring. You see all that right there?
They need to be ignored if they've got nothing better to do than stare at a dumb screen. Listen to us. That's what I always say about pulling my shades in my house.
What are people saying
If
to
I
us?
have to pull my shades, there are people out there that really need to get a life. They want to look in the window of an old man that does nothing.
I know. Kima, come here. Kima.
Multiple aliases.
This is not a good deal either, dog.
32109, I'm pushing back to me now.
Uh-oh.
1357.
Dipsy doodle that one, didn't we?
Are we okay?
Dial 911. Good.
This number is 200 303
That's the first accident we've seen.
Effective one,
The ones that look like they're starting to get pretty slippery.
Yeah. Oh, they were really
Walk in there.
Yes, I'd like to report an accident. 71 Highway northbound, south of the 27th Street overpass. Looks like a black Mustang has hit the